everybody should know him if you with Fresno or you on social media. I have Dr. Floyd Harris. He's going to be talking about his Freedom School and other things going on in the community. So how you doing tonight, Mr. Harris?
Good.
Dr. Harris?
Thank you for having me on the show. It's been a while. It's been what, a year or two?
Yes. About 18 months, man. I had one away for a minute.
You were down at the top.
You're going to have operation, man.
Yes, sir. Glad you're back, coming back strong.
Yes, sir. So, explain to me what the Freedom School is about and how did you originate this?
Well, the Fresno Freedom School, just to give some quick history, back in the 1960s, when schools were segregated, white folks did not want blacks to go to their schools. So our ancestors were very creative, as the people that we are, conscious. We created our own school. We took a garage, we took somebody's house, abandoned building, and our ancestors decided to come with our own curriculum. We didn't sit back and whine and complain. We went to work, and so our ancestors built the curriculum for our kids during that time. And so throughout time, schools then became integrated. But the concept of the Freedom School is independence. So in Fresno, as you know, the many problems that we have here, we have the highest concentration of poverty. Anything that's bad is in West Fresno. And so one of the concepts that I have is that our motto is that we educate, motivate, energize, organize, and mobilize, and take our youth to a higher level. And so the Freedom School is more of a vocational type school. The different programs we have is farming, we have janitorial classes, we have sewing, cooking, we have also a marching band. Music, and the music piece is cool because it's like I want to bring that culture from the South here, because you take a Grambling or a Southern University and you put them up against Fresno State, it's like child's play, okay? Because we dance with our instruments.
Yes.
So this was my understanding, because I did some research on it. My understanding of the Freedom Schools was there are certain factors that keep us separated and living productive, functional lives. And one of those being the food that we're given, that we're eating off of, food stamps, and they're buying noodles and they're buying hot dogs, and this is why our people aren't living longer, and they're not learning instruments, and they're not learning things that are going to help them get further in life. So what I was getting from the Freedom Schools is that they're trying to give our youth a fighting chance in a society that has separated us from them. That has separated us intentionally, and then it's been bred down to our children. So the Freedom Schools are providing a chance for these children to learn something that's going to take them on another level, that'll give them a fighting chance, like how to grow their own plants, healthy things that aren't covered with pesticides and aren't in preservatives, and how to get out there and make things and do things and sew clothes and all the things that they need to learn that people aren't being taught and that aren't being taught. So I'm really behind this Freedom School for real. Does it cost money to get up in there? It's a free Freedom School, y'all.
And I did my research on the Freedom School and also but I want to you say your grandmother taught you how to do this, man, and talk a little bit about your grandmother.
Yeah, so you know where Hunts is. I wasn't politically correct.
That's all he had to say.
We just changed location, baby. Ain't nothing changed, man. We just changed to a better location with a better production, man. Keep it real right here.
Well, that's where I lived at Walnut Gardens. That was Walnut Gardens. So, when I was 6, 7 years old, my grandmother, she was an activist, during that time. And we came from Arkansas. My folks came from Arkansas. And so during that time, we didn't have street lights. We didn't have roads. We didn't have garbage service. We didn't have any of that. And so I would go to these meetings, and my grandma and I call her clan at the time that was activists. I was running around knocking over chairs and blah 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 blah. And so one day I decided to listen, and I started to realize that I said, why are all these white folks up here and all these black people back here hollering and screaming? And then it clicked on me that my grandmother was planting a seed in me, you know, when I'm 6, 7 years old. And as that, you know, matured in me and I got older and older and older, I remember times where she told me, she said, boy, go out in the backyard, dig a hole and throw the trash in, and I'll be out there and light it. You know, you didn't question grandma. You just did what they told you to do, or you got a wet kids today. Yeah, you got a wet dish towel across your back. You know what I'm saying? So I just did it. And but then as I got old, I kept saying, well, why I gotta dig a hole and light it? And then when it burned, she covered it up and etc. And so I started seeing things that wasn't equal, you know, as the other side of town. And I remember my grandmother used to work for this lady, I probably won't say her name, but anyway, she cleaned this white lady house. And it dawned on me, I didn't know what racism was at the age of 8, was that, you know, when we go to her fed garden, we would clean, she would clean her toilets, clean her bed. And then one day we seen her downtown. And I said, Grandma, there's so-and-so. And she wouldn't speak to us.
Wow, wow. How did you feel as a kid knowing that you go into this lady's house and feel garden, then you see her, quote unquote, in West Fresno downtown, she don't want to say anything. That's crazy.
That was a life changer for me right there.
I'm quite sure
because I couldn't understand, because I kept questioning my girl. She said, boy, don't worry about it. Boy, don't worry. And I didn't understand the systemic racism, the institutionalized racism that was going on at the age of 8. But as I got older and I became an international civil rights leader, traveling the world and, you know, running with Sharpton, and then founded my own organization, National Network in Action, then I can start doing my own research, like you said, and I started putting the puzzle together, saying,
it's not right.
America got some problems.
Yes.
Yes, some big problems. And so there's no equality even in Fresno. You see North Fresno look one way, you come to West Fresno, we got a packing house that's still cooking dead animals.
Yes.
You know, we got Hyde Park that was a dump that the city turned into a dump that our children play on. You see the bad air, the bad quality that we have to deal with pesticides. So Fresno is still the tales of two cities. I don't care who don't like it, it's just a fact. It is.
Well, it's just a fact. It's just the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have politicians after politicians after politicians come in. But yet you see Southeast growing, you see North Fresno done grew, Wilbur Park done grew, everywhere done grew but West Fresno. Because we're the funding source of this city to make sure that we keep a people in bondage. And that's what it is. So we need, you know, stations like yours and what you're doing here tonight to really educate the people about what's really going on in the hood.
That's why, you know, that's why I want to on this show, Florida special show. But like you say, man, it's sad when you get off that 99 freeway on Fresno Street. If they wouldn't have built that little center right there, it still look, man, I'm 51 years old. It's still like that 50 years ago. When are they gonna make changes? Then, like you say, you have all these politicians get here and promise what they're gonna do, but they never do nothing for this West Fresno, man. It's sad, you know.
So how is your Freedom School modeled after the original Freedom Schools, and how is it different?
So, I mean, we have technology now. They didn't have technology back then, right?
Yeah.
But, so that's one big piece. But I think the foundation is the same. And when I say foundation, I'm talking about the heart right now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people, you don't need a grant to teach your young kid how to read. You know, I think either do for self or be a slave. So Oakland has freedom schools. We have a freedom school here. We're branching off into the South. Dr. Jean Kennedy, who you may know, may not know, she's the co-founder of the Freedom School. Yeah, you did. And she moved to Atlanta. We're trying to build a pipeline of resources from there to here for our children. We've been able to get about 13 of our children into black colleges. My son's getting ready to graduate this year.
That's right, little Floyd third.
Yeah, he's getting ready to go to college. And so, but I think that to answer your question, sister, is that I think that, you know, from the baking, from the cooking, the caring about our children, loving them unconditionally, whatever problems they have, still love them, okay? And you know, me and Dara, we go up against each other, you know, whatever. But it's cool, right? Because I love my people. I love my community. I'm true to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not new to it, I'm true to it, you know?
For real.
And as I was telling the brother out there, I'm the only black man that shut River Park down, okay, for Black Lives Matter. And I meant that, okay? And so I have paid my dues in the city for 33, 34 years, you know, and I feel that this Freedom School right now, for the programs that we have, book club, we take the kids to the mountains, we have a video production where we take pictures, they journal. The children made watermelon jelly. It took 3rd place at the fair. They made watermelon chicken. All this coming from the farm.
I want to taste the
relish. They made relish. They took 1st place at the fair.
Yes.
We have a sewing class. They made African American potholders. It took 1st place at the fair. You know. So what we're trying to do is we're building the self-esteem. We're building the confidence. We're teaching them their culture. That's one of the things that's happened in Fresno in the Valley here. We don't talk about real black culture. And no disrespect to Dr. King, because Dr. King did a lot. He took a bullet.
To make it.
But black history is more than just Dr. King.
Yes, it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, we have to talk about Black Wall Street and what that meant and why
A
it
lot
was
of people
destroyed.
don't know about that Black
You know
Wall
what I'm
Street. I just found this like 5 years ago that we
Yes,
had
sir.
Black Wall in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. We have to talk, we have to educate. I was telling the brother earlier that, you know, my foster son came to me and said, I want to go to the zoo. Here's, you know, the permission slip. And I said, well, you know about the human zoo? He said, well, what's a human zoo? And I said, and he said, well, so I took out my laptop, technology, pulled up YouTube, I took it, I put it in front of him, because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm learning right now.
So he's looking at it, right? And I'm watching his facial expression. He's like, I said, well, when it was over, I said, well, you want to go to the zoo, and understanding that those animals behind the zoo at Royal Park are captured, stolen from their land. No different from what black folks was there in slavery. I said, so now the first human zoo was black people.
Wow. I just learned
In Europe. Then it came to America. So you had our black women in, just like Royal Park, behind a gate, throwing them bananas, looking at them being naked.
I can do this, Floyd?
Just go to YouTube, it's all there. But see, you know, people like Cayende and people like that we partner with, Fresno State, the president out there, Nick Navino, I mean, Dr. Sack. I mean, there's just so many people that has invested.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How are we funding this Freedom School?
Yes.
That's a good question. My pocket is empty. You know, the historic center, Du Bois and Mayor, you may know Du Bois. I mean, her organization really believes in us, and we get some funds from them. But mainly it's just, the children have and the parents have put in the sweat equity in the land, planting them seeds. Because when I see a child plant a seed and I see that seed grow, the child grow.
Exactly.
Because that seed has to be nurtured. It has to be loved. You have to talk to the plant. You have to understand that at night it's going through some things out there because bugs are all right. So we have to come back the next day, right? And understand what's really going on with that because we want to eat healthy, right? Yeah. So the plant need us, we need the plant. So we have to work in a collaboration here to make sure that the bug is good bug. I mean, our students right now, you could come out there right now and they can give you a tour how to prepare the land, how to irrigate it, how to do the maintenance on it, how to harvest, because we're going to have a harvest next week on the 20th. Right, we're inviting everybody to come. All right. 1106 West Woodward. 1106 West Woodward. Fresno Freedom School right there. We have lettuce, we have collard greens, we have mustard greens, we have there's so much stuff out there.
So we all gonna get out there and pull vegetables?
No, like I say, when I do the research and I watch your videos, I can see those kids are happy, man. They all smiling, man. They're just glowing, man. So you like you said, you teach them how to be independent, grow their own stuff. And then you had put some on there about the noodles, man. I'm like, Floyd, you tripping, man? I eat noodles, man. That stuff not good for you, man. The top ramen that's not good for you, man.
And that's what the good part about the Freedom Schools, like, my board, they're invested. The parents, right now as we speak, they're at the center practicing praise dancing and all that stuff right now. You know, our staff don't get paid for that. They get paid by we seeing these children grow, getting into college, their grades. And we had a young lady who had a 1.5 great GPA, and I sat that sister down and I said, listen, your mother may not be here, your father may not be here. I said, you do not have control of the past, but you have control of the future. So understand, let's work now and move forward and build your GPA up. Because at the end of the day, when you walk across that stage of the 12th grader, we know where you're going to get your college.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the nurturing that we do with these children. We just don't run a program 6 weeks in the summer. We follow these children year round.
Yeah,
We're advocates for them. We're advocates for them. I asked the parents, put me on the emergency card. Because when something go down with a Freedom School child, we're there. Yeah, you know, something going down at home, we're there. That's the love that we have. Beautiful. That's what we have lost as black people here, not just nationwide, but especially here in Fresno. Because like I told you, we're not throwing no kids away. No kids away. All right? Because if you can recycle trash, am I right? If you can recycle trash in a blue garbage can and make money off of it, right?
Yes.
No, you're not going to throw away our children. No, so I know I said, you know, he talk about, we're going to clean up the neighborhood. Well, I want the ones. We walk the neighborhood. We talk to these young black men, young black and brown. And Freedom School is not just a black school. It's founded black, but we have all nationalities in our school. You know, so you know, it's for the community. Politicians don't run it. Did you hear what I said?
Politicians don't run it.
Politicians don't run this. Okay, so we have to understand right now that we as black people have to be in control of the education, the politics, what's going on from day in and day out, what happens in our community. We're 911. When something go down, I'm 911. That's right. Okay?
So let's talk about how people can help and how can people get involved, how can people help.
Does it cost to go to the school?
At the Freedom School, hey, just help the Freedom School. I mean, you're giving a lot of concepts of period, the way people can help period in life, in the world. But how can we help the Freedom School?
You know, I ask people, you know, we need water. We need water fountains. We need rains. We need shelter. And we need those dead presidents too.
Any business,
okay.
Finance.
And we have to finance what we love. Right? If we love it, we're gonna finance it, right?
Exactly.
You buy a brand new car, you're gonna take it, you're gonna clean it, you're gonna wash it, you're gonna make sure the oil is changed. So we have to understand that same ideology with our children. Okay? We need for folk to come by and volunteer so the children can see you.
That's right.
Touch you, talk to you, ask you questions, okay? Because right now, the way our community is designed right now, it's like it's all segregated. That's not us. It took a village to raise a child, and it still do today. So, sister, we need bodies, warm bodies.
Right here
and y'all see on the bottom right there, FresnoFreedomSchool.com. Y'all can hit the link, find out more, and you have links on there to donate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have
so the people out there, if y'all are in Dallas, Colorado, Argentina,
around the world,
wherever you are,
my friends,
help us out here in Fresno in the Central Valley.
For real, especially all my friends in Australia, man, who's watching this right now. Well, let me ask you a question. What is your golden rule and your principle on daily life? The golden rule.
One principle that you live by every day. You're number one. Yeah, that's it.
Respect.
That's right. Respect.
And I teach the Freedom School kids that every time they come is respect. Because respect is like a tree, it has a lot of arteries. It just goes, you know. And even when someone disrespects us, is how we react to the disrespect. Right? You know?
Respecting yourself and others. The respect covers a whole array. You know?
Exactly. And so the students, they understand that. And I mean, our students is from yay high to first grade, all the way, our oldest is 100 years old. Allie Reed, Miss Reed, mother just had a birthday.
Yes, man, that was beautiful, man.
She
that was
is,
so beautiful.
She is a general. I appointed her the general of the Freedom
Beautiful
School.
lady, man.
She's 100 years old,
Yes.
and the family, we celebrate her birthday at my church, at New Life and Light Church of God. I'm an assistant pastor there, and it was just beautiful that the children could get around that generation of 100. She's seen a lot. She was born, I believe, in 1980 somewhere.
19, I see it,
1918 somewhere.
Yeah.
So she came through a lot.
Man, she's
Huh?
man,
And
yes,
seen a lot,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And still able to talk, still able to smile, I mean, she don't have old time. She's just a loving person that I tell our young ladies in the Freedom School, you need, not just them, but all of us, let's get on the ground at her feet.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
sitting here, I'm processing
Just
your
listen
mind.
to
Dang, she was
grandma
here for the development
who
of
was
the
100
beeper, the
years
cell
old.
phone, the
Man,
phone.
you know what I'm
saying?
I'm like, was there
Pressure.
electricity around it?
I mean, if you look at her now, she was on the front page of the Fresno Bee.
Yes, I
And it's
saw
like,
that,
I said, we got to have her part of the Freedom School. She don't even have to say anything. She just roll up in her wheelchair and she just expect attention.
Yes,
Everybody runs on her.
Better than respect. That's
You know,
better than
run,
respect.
hug her, kiss her, let her know that we love her. You know, because we have to take care of her. Why? Because she took care of us.
And you know what? That's another part of building culture in the Black
Right.
community. That's what we talked about. That was one of the things that I actually got a lot of flack on social media about, because I was talking about us not having any culture. Oh my gosh, they came from me. Oh, they came from me, baby. Because I'm known for ruffling feathers. You know, that's what I'm known for. So that was the Black community not having culture, and that's part of it. You know, our elderly, not from our youth to our elderly, just respecting the fact that she was here through so much, she's seen so much that our people have gone through, and she has so much culture just in her. You know, that's just her. So.
And you know the good part about Mother Reed? She still live on the west side.
Yes.
She ain't never left. Through all the stuff that went on in West Fresno, bad air, bad water, gang, she's still there with us. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about culture, even with the Freedom School, you know, we do Kwanzaa. We do Kwanzaa every year. And we engage our children into Kwanzaa and what that is, the principles and things like that. And last year we traveled around the whole city, educating people about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not just in December; it's 365 days out there.
You're right. You're definitely a teacher, man. You are definitely a teacher, because I've learned stuff.
I thought it was surrounded.
I thought it from the 26th to the 30th. You know, that's what I was talking
Man, we have to
Like 8
fight
days.
Yes.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I mean, that's who we are as a people. And because this coming year, I didn't do it last year, but the year before, we're gonna be, showing hidden colors. I'm gonna be doing a lot of movie presentations about Black culture and different things like that. Hayane was one of our professors. He comes out and he lectures to our group. He comes to my church. Listen, you may come to my church on Sunday morning, and I may be showing a movie of Black Panther Party. And that's how I roll. Because it's about education. It's about us knowing what's going on with us, right? Because we're in a war right now. And as I told the brother outside, when you're in a war, how are we going to make America great again? That's another show of a show. I got a person of another show.
But my other host, man, that's another show we're gonna do, man. But listen, we're gonna
This is not a political show.
No, it's not. Listen, this is Fresno hip hop scene, man. You know, we just gonna talk about music. We talk about everything from the community, like Mr. Harris, Dr. Harris right here. You know, we trying to touch every basic on Fresno hip hop scene. We're gonna go to a commercial right now, pay some bills, and come back with our next guest, man. But like I say, Floyd, before we go, man, tell the people how they can reach you and how they really, really can support this Freedom School, man. Because I'm gonna get involved, man. I have to get a little bit better, man. Because you know I respect you, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I just want to say thank everyone, from the smallest to the tallest, all the organizations, your prayers and everything that you have done for the past 5-6 years. Some people come, some people go, they come back, and it's all good. I just say that we're building this independent institution outside the European education system, where we can love our children, teach our children, love them unconditionally, so that all of us can have a community that we love. It takes a village to raise a child, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Our ancestors did that then, and we can do it now. I'm Reverend Dr. Floyd E. Harris, Jr., here in West Fresno, 1106 West Woodward, 93706. My email is freedoms79@yahoo.com. My phone number is 559-790-4277. You know, and every time my babies go out to Fresno State, the college fair, we take pictures. We always hold our fists up like that to let folks know, hey, we here, we ain't going nowhere. Been here before.
Like I said, we gonna do another show on that topic. Talk about, like I say, man, we live right here, Mad Production Entertainment, Mad Talk TV.
We got some local music for you guys, so.
KP, man, y'all stay tuned. Come on, Jerry, come on.
All right.
Oh, your mic.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very
But
much.
I definitely, man, like I say, you know, we just building right here, man. We trying to figure it out along the way, man. I really got a lot of love and respect for KP for allowing us to do this here, this new location and better situation.
Yes, sir.
You know, but I got a man, Jeff Crow. You ever hit me?
All
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
brother.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Sorry, KP.
It's all good, man. That's how we roll.
All right. How you doing, bro? All right. Got my man MC. You know, can use that, right?
Here's a CD I want to give to you all.
Why you gonna say it's on the air?
It's one of those, but there's more on there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Thank
It
you,
was
sir.
very nice meeting you.
All right.
Man,
Bless your
very
heart.
powerful
Okay.
man right there, man. Very powerful, man.
Right on. Thank you, sir. All right.
And then, like I said, you're gonna put 15, man. We gonna try to run over. I'm gonna go quick work and come right back. Okay. You know, man, thank you for